Sega.
In the name of the Emperor, finish this! High ground, we'll gain the advantage! Continue the assault! Reinforcements are coming! The monolith! We destroy that and this is over! Charge!
The planet Cronus. Beset on all sides by the tides of war, this once quiet colony became a savage battlefield. 7 armies clashed on this one world, each refusing to back down. Each convinced it was in the right. From beneath the sands of Cronus' central desert came the Necrons, ancient machines bent on eradicating all life. But another evil already had its eyes on the planet. From the depths of the warp, the demonic forces of chaos arrived to enforce their claim. To oppose these fearsome powers, the planet's rulers in the Tau Empire sent their elite soldiers and sophisticated battlesuits into the fray. From the mighty Imperium of Man came the Imperial Guard, there to secure Cronus for the glory of the God Emperor. Like a green tide, the Ork horde descended on Cronus, caring little for others' claims and sowing destruction in its wake. The Eldar, ancient enemies of the Necrons, emerged from their webway to pursue their own agenda on Cronus. And last came the Space Marines, finest and most uncompromising of the Imperium's soldiers. Seeing a world beset by aliens and heretics, they undertook a great purge. A dark crusade had begun. It could only end with the total victory of one of these factions, and the total defeat of all others. Driven from Lorne 5, the Ork war boss Gorgut's headhunter managed to return as a greater threat still during the Dark Crusade. He formed a new war band from Ork freebooters and pirates and others pushed out of the Lorne system and set about raiding worlds on the outskirts of the Tau Empire, gaining resources along the way. When Cronus sent out desperate calls for help against the Necrons, Gorguts sent his forces to strike at a vulnerable target. Gorguts' war fleet dropped out of the warp only to find Imperial and Tau fleets squaring off above Cronus. The Orks lost several ships, but the clashing fleets were unable to repel the large number of rocks Gorguts threw into the atmosphere. These massive landing ships, made from converted asteroids, smashed into the Green Coast and unloaded their bands of Ork invaders. There, Gorguts brought the local feral Orks to heel and set about his conquest. The war had come to Cronus. When the tide of war turned against the Tau, they faced attack in their stronghold in the city of Asharis, renamed Tashin by the aliens. The aliens were well entrenched, however. and ready to mount a vigorous defense. Shas Okais, the Tau military leader, made his headquarters in a mighty citadel in the city's center, forcing attackers to wend their way through the tight city streets, exposed to sniper fire and ambushes. Outlying bases in different quarters of the city supported his strategy, with Kroot warriors and powerful armored units harassing attackers even further. The Tau's only strategic vulnerability was Unity Plaza, the city's main public space. A sophisticated communications tower there could potentially be used by an attacker to expose the stealth units positioned across the city. Okais knew, however, that his attacker's ultimate objective would be assassination, not conquest. Onel Shiorez, a member of the mysterious ethereal caste, led the Tau forces from the citadel in Tashan. Were he to die, Tau forces would crumble. But as long as the ethereal lived, the Tau would defend Tashan against all comers.
Okais, are the troops ready?
Yes, Ornell. The Earth Caste is completing construction of the Montkar command post. Our armored units are ready to deliver the killing blow.
And our Kroot allies?
Also ready, Ornell. The Kayun command post in the city's Kroot quarter is prepared, and the Shapers have readied the finest of their warriors. Stealth teams are taking position across the city, ready to strike where the enemy is weak. Strike teams of fire warriors and Kroot packs will defend the streets and meet the enemy head on.
Excellent, Commander. Patch me through to the troops, please.
Soldiers of the Fire Caste, Kroot and Vespid allies, today we stand as a bulwark against the selfish, the soulless, and the mad. Today, we must drive back our enemies from our city and from our world. Today, more than ever before, we fight for the greater good, and we will triumph!
You are an affront to the greater good, Ork.
You're calling me names, Grayskin? Me boys are gonna have to teach you some manners.
Typical.
Hey,
Okais,
boss.
eliminate this pest.
Gladly, on L. Command posts, report.
Montkar command post online, Chazo. Crisis suits ready for combat.
The Kayan post is safe in the Kroot quarter. We will defend it, Commander.
Excellent. Send strike teams at the enemy, but protect your positions.
We're under attack!
Strike teams, choose your targets and attack. For the greater good.
Ready for stomping?
Strike teams, choose your targets and attack.
You cannot hope to prevail against the greater good.
I got the good bits for this fight.
For the greater good.
The enemy has has overwhelmed us. The Montkar command post has fallen.
Take heart, fire warriors. The greater good shall prevail.
The Orks have reached Unity Plaza. Protect the main communications array.
Oi! Sounds like we should get hold of that tower, boys. Wah!
We're under attack!
The enemy has taken the Unity Plaza communications array. Team Sigma, they are targeting the array to disrupt your stealth fields. Fall back.
The boss? Who is getting shot up?
They're in the corner. The Kion command post is gone.
Do not surrender to despair. We have many forces left yet.
Time to feed, little ones.
They are inside the Citadel. Crisis suits, attack.
We're under attack!
There you are!
We're under attack!
Come here so I can kill ya!
You are a plague on the greater good, Ork.
Fire warriors, beat these barbarians back. Protect Arnell at all costs. All crisis teams, engage the enemy. Crisis Team Theta, attack! Cut them down!
Who is getting shot?
Arnell is dead. We cannot win. Fall back, now! All forces, fall back. Evacuate the city. We will return, Arnell, to Tau for burial. There is nothing left for us here.
Before his arrival on Cronus, Warlord Gorguts had raided several other Tau colonies near the Damocles Gulf. This experience served him well as he sent waves of his boys against the Tau defenders of Asharis. Bloody melees between Orks and Kroot showed the barbarity of both races, and Gorguts was happy to send waves of his Orks to die under fire war fusillades until he could overwhelm their lines. In the end, however, the fall of Asharis was a frustration for Gorguts. With the Tau forces retreating and taking the corpse of their ethereal with them, the Ork warlord was denied the gruesome trophies he loved so much. His frustration at not having Aunel's skull was epic in scope, and Gorguts is said to have personally eviscerated the Orks who actually killed Aunel, blaming them for not securing the ethereal's corpse. This outburst of pique, after a great victory, won Gorguts the name of Rage Screamer. The full extent of the Necron presence on Cronus did not become clear until those opposing them launched raids into the catacombs under the Thur Abyss Plateau. The first Necron massacres on the planet had occurred there, and their enemies expected to find some sort of alien bastion. Instead, they found an entryway into the underworld. Garbled reports from doomed scouts sent into the cavernous passageways revealed a network of catacombs honeycombing the entire plateau. Some of these now stood hollowed out, while others served as staging grounds for Necron forces. Worst of all, however, were the deeper tunnels, where row upon row of Necrons still stood, slowly waking to join their lord's global genocide. The attackers settled on a dangerous gambit. A strike force would enter the catacombs and plant a massive explosive device deep in the main cavern. An explosion there would collapse the entire network, crushing or sealing off the legions of still dormant Necrons and shattering those already risen. It remained to be seen if anyone could deliver this device, much less escape in time to continue the fight across Cronus.
We's all gonna die!
Creatures, at long last you have found the tranquility of death. I was like you once, clinging to life and blind to the truth. When I uncovered the truth, I too shuddered and paled with fear. Deep in these catacombs, I was remade. Here, my brethren slumbered for eons, while the living grew like weeds. My lord knew this day would come. He had plans for us all. We would purge this world once more. So come, poor victims of life. We will grant you tranquility in these crypts. Cronus will be a tomb world once more.
I's got your bomb, boss.
Give me that! Okay, you gits, listen up! I'm gonna stuff this here bomb down these Necron boys' throats! So let's get down there and get out right quick!
Boss, they got some right big generators or something running down there.
Where?
Here, and here. Could be some good shiny bits there.
Good some traps! Get some boys to check 'em out!
They shooting us!
You have penetrated but the very surface of our catacombs. More and more of us rise from the depths with every passing moment.
Hey, boss, there's some kind of statue thing here.
I hate all that black and green stuff. Wreck it, boys!
They shooting
Are
us!
deathless interlopers. Under the shadow of the beacon of unlife, the fallen rise again.
I'm not doing anything.
Look at them tunnels is empty
nice
of
and strong.
Necrons. If we find another
Who's
way
gonna
in,
make it nice
we
and
can
strong?
move some
Time to
boys
build
through
stuff.
them. Another one of those statues, Wreck that one too,
Sod
boys!
off! Where's
Darkness
the fire?
veils your eyes and dulls your senses.
What?
Before the beacon of the deceiver, we
The
are
boss?
like deadly
Who is getting
shadows
shot?
hidden from your sight.
Ah! Another safe tunnel
Who's
entry!
it? Boss! It's a bunch of those monoliths they have!
Those Necrons live in those things you get! Now wreck 'em!
Let's
Another
lay
one of
it
those
under
statues!
attack!
Wreck that one too, boys!
Time itself bends to the will of the Catan fools. Come before the chronometron beacon and be frozen
boss?
into the
Who is getting
stillness
shot?
of death.
Another one of those statues!
shooting us!
Wreck that one too, boys!
All machines serve the Catan in the end. Bring your vehicles before the beacon of the Void Dragon and watch as they turn against you.
Ah! Another safe tunnel entry! Looks like it's gonna be a bad day for them Necron boys! Let's get out of here!
My lord, the living are escaping. My lord, the living have...
Accustomed to the vilest of environments, Gorgut's orcs ran headlong into the gruesome catacombs of the Necrons. Although the Deathless Warriors reaped a massive bounty in Orcish lives, for once it was they who were swept under a ceaseless tide, as more and more of the green beasts poured into the caverns. When Gorguts detonated the massive explosive that brought down the caverns atop the Necrons, he left scores of his boys to be crushed. Nevertheless, the survivors cheered their boss, even laughing at the ruthlessness with which he had sacrificed their fellows. Gorgut's headhunter left the Thorabis Plateau without any fresh skulls, but with the new appellation of Deathkiller. In a foul shrine in the Deimos Peninsula, lost souls summoned the Black Apostle Eliphas to Cronus. There, the Word-Bearers raised their black temples and launched their assault on the world. Eldritch energies split the earth with abyssal fissures and remade the lush jungles into a nightmare landscape, pulsing with ruinous energies. A master demagogue, Eliphas made an advantage of the fractious nature of those bent to chaos. Instead of relying on a unified defense, he allowed his champions and cult leaders to establish their own satellite temples where they could pursue their own dark rituals. Any attacker who hoped to defeat the Word-Bearers would have to run a bloody gauntlet of heretics, including some of the Legion's most veteran Chaos Space Marines. Indeed, killing the heretics on Cronus was pointless so long as the Great War Portal in Eliphas's Bastion remained open. The dark spells of the sorcerers Amphion and Zathus maintained this massive rend in the fabric of creation, granting Eliphas endless reinforcements. So long as the Deimos portal remained open, there could be no victory on Cronus.
With the 37 keys of Tzeentch, we open the way for our brothers. With the 1,000 whispers of Slaanesh, we call to them. With the 12 plagues of Nurgle, we fell their enemies. And with the mighty axe of Khorne, we cut open the world for them.
Yes. Come forth to bear the word of chaos. Hear my warnings, unbelievers. Carried to your minds by the power of the Prince of Excess himself. We have raised altars in this land, so that we may sacrifice you to our gods. Veterans of 10 millennia of unholy war wait to grind you beneath the treads of their mighty boots. The chosen of Khorne hunger to add you to their bloody tally. The blood god himself has marked this land and will claim your skulls for his throne. There is no hope in opposing the inevitable. Put down your arms, unbelievers, and bow before the forces of chaos undivided. Your blood will serve as any other alien.
They sent
What's
us!
it doing in me head? Get out of there!
Gladly. Yours is not the refined soul I wish to drink from. You are intruders here. Your sacrifice will feed the gods of chaos.
Feast.
The legions of chaos are without end, intruder. You cannot prevail
He's gonna
here.
make it nice and strong.
My legion will burn your false idols to ash. Chaos cannot be denied. The people here have already accepted the Black Testament. So will you.
What? There's a relic and some shiny bits here, but the Chaos Boys is everywhere here.
Then wipe them out, you git! Them shiny bits is for the Orks now!
They want?
Cling to your hope, my
Orks
friend.
follow.
It will make your destruction all the sweeter.
On my way to do some
Kill
crushing.
or be killed. It is all service to chaos. They reject the word of chaos, my lord. The faithful here are not strong enough.
It is a poor shepherd who blames his flock apostle. This failure is yours and yours alone.
No. I will not go to the Basilica of Torments again.
Fear not, apostle. The Basilica is reserved for those who may redeem themselves.
No. No!
You will have no such chance.
On Lorn 5, Warlord Gorguts had clashed with the Chaos Lord Krull. And that experience served him well when he sent his horde into the Deimos Peninsula. Although huge numbers of orcs fell to the foul demons and black sorceries of the Word-Bearers, Gorguts had plenty to spare, and eventually overwhelmed the heretics. Gorguts mounted the skulls of Black Apostle Eliphas and his sorcerers on pikes, and had them carried as grisly standards for his Waaagh. The other orcish chieftains, as ever imitating the warlord, promptly went on an orgy of decapitation, mounting the heads of the countless cultists and Chaos Space Marines left dead when Eliphas withdrew. In the wake of his victory, Gorguts assumed the name of Demon Killer. Upon arriving on Cronus, General Lucas Alexander became Governor Militant and set about reclaiming the planet for the Imperium. When his enemies launched attacks on his capital, he prepared to repel them with extreme prejudice. Experts in planetary defense, the men of the Imperial Guard were heavily dug in and fortified in Victory Bay. Any attacker would face well-armed and well-supplied soldiers, backed by powerful armored columns and artillery positions. The Guard's only real weakness was its morale. Although most soldiers served honorably, the men of the regiment's 5th Company had proven less than stalwart, and were placed under command of Regimental Commissar Anton Gabbett in a forward base on the northern shore of the Victoria River. Without Gabbett's whip, the company and its base would surely fold. Other companies took position in forward bases in more sensitive areas, ready to drive the enemy off. Still, determined attackers could overrun those positions. Governor Alexander remained confident, however. Indeed, any opponent who made it past his forward positions would find themselves staring down the barrel of the massive Hellstorm cannon of an Imperator Titan.
Fifth Company, this is the moment of truth. You will not fear. You will not falter. You will not give a single step to the enemy.
But sir, if you will not serve in combat, then you will serve on the firing line.
Enemies of the Imperium, hear me. You have come here to die. The immortal Emperor is with us and we are invincible. His soldiers will strike you down. His war machines will crush you under their treads. His mighty guns will bring the very sky crashing down upon you. You cannot win. The Emperor has given us his greatest weapon to wield. So make yourselves ready. We are the 1st Cronus Regiment, and today is our victory day.
Do you always hear so much you leave?
You've come here to die, alien.
Guess so.
Greenskins. Thought I smelled something.
1st Company, hold the enemy back, no matter the cost. Sergeant, get me control of those streets.
By the Emperor, you will have it.
Boss? Who is getting shot? 2nd Platoon, attack! Take it back from the men.
Sir, yes, sir.
On our way.
Firing solution plotted.
Now you will see what it means to face the Imperial Guard. Artillery, open fire!
We'll do it. It's gonna make it nice and strong.
We're under fire! 3rd Company, hold the line! The Emperor demands it! Look out! Here they come! 2nd Mechanized Company, the enemy is at your doorstep! Push them back, damn it! We must disrupt this attack. Tell the Vindicare Temple to eliminate their commander.
One chance is all I need.
The enemy has knocked out 2nd Company's fire control system. Our air support is gone.
Up yours!
Liberators, the enemy has made it to the northern shore. Redeploy to drive them back.
What is it?
Look at the size of their guns. We can't win.
Go, go, go! On my command, fire the Titan cannon. Fire! Begin recharge. I want that gun firing again.
Boss? I liked that Commissar's act. Too bad it blew off with his head.
That's one more soul that'll be avenged when you die, beast! The Titan cannon power grid is under attack. Redirect fire to protect it and initiate repairs.
I will ease the machine's pain.
Just keep it online, Tech Priest.
I am under attack!
Protect those generators, men.
Time for payback!
The power grid is gone, but the Emperor is still with us. Give them hell, men!
My lord, the enemy is building generators to feed power to the Titan cannon. This will allow them to fire the great gun.
Damnation! Attention, all troops! The enemy has control of the Titan gun. Use extreme caution when passing through the trench.
They shooting us!
Here they come, Yumi. Hope you weren't bored waiting.
The Orks are in the Citadel. Drive them back!
Gone. We can't hold them back much longer. We can't allow the Titan cannon to fall into their hands. Overload the core.
For the Emperor!
Gorguts had suffered at the hands of the Imperial Guard on Lorne 5, and saw his assault on Victory Bay as a chance for revenge. Unfortunately, Governor Militant Alexander and his first Cronus liberators were unable to deny Gorguts' want. The Ork tide swept through the desolate city, spilling the blood of men with virtual impunity. When the smoke cleared, Gorguts and his Ork mechs faced the remains of the great Soulstorm cannon, severely damaged by the desperate last acts of the tech priests of Victory Bay. Unconcerned with the heresy they enacted, the Ork mech boys scavenged every last component from the great circuits, using and abusing them to add power to their primitive guns and vehicles. In the wake of this battle, Gorguts assumed the name Gun Smasher. For much of the Dark Crusade, great fleets plied the orbital lanes above the battlefields of Cronus, using their firepower to ground long-range flights. Guardsmen and heretic alike had to fight meter by bloody meter, with great battle fleets exchanging fire across the skies. Trench warfare seemed an immutable fact of life for commanders on the ground. All this changed with the Battle of Pavonis. This spaceport featured an ancient Adeptus Mechanicus tracking system merged with the alien technologies of the Tau Aircast. This system was sensitive enough to plot courses that avoided orbital fire, making strikes deep into enemy territory possible. A tech priest had discovered this technological marvel, and left his servitors to examine it in detail. Whichever force was able to recover these bionic servants would gain control of the station and be able to launch strikes across Cronus.
Oi! What you doing, Yakarot? The enemy's got one of me servitors!
Any knob knows that. Let's get
We got
looting.
a servitor here at the camp, and the mech boys is looking at him, but we need some more.
All right.
Oi! What you doing, Yakarots? The enemy's got one of me servitors!
You's a pretty mouthy one, ain't ya? Why's you
We
giving
got
me
a
orders?
servitor here at the camp, and the mech boys is looking at him. But we need some more.
Please, no more kissing.
Job's
On
a
our
good
way.
un, Any knob knows that.
That's one of them Hume servitors. Get him back to the camp. We got all we need, boys. Our fighter bombers is gonna be flying high now.
Eldar rely on stealth and trickery where others trust in direct force and valor. An ancient and debased people, the aliens only sully their hands in battle when they have no choice. When the Eldar's enemies at last tracked down their hidden base of operations in Tyria, the far-seer Taldir turned to a strategy of trickery. In this, she followed the ways of her ancient and deceitful race. Her forces were centered on a great reinforced hill in a remote, frozen area with very limited access. To cut off these access points, the Far-Seer lured Cat's Paws to Tyria. Orks, dissatisfied with a war of Warlord Gorguts, followed advice whispered by Taldir's warlocks and camped right where they could screen the Eldar from attackers. The Eldar, nevertheless, built a substantial force of their own. Advanced webway gates allowed them to ferry troops from the Wraith ship hiding behind a holofield somewhere in the Cronus system. But these same gates were the Eldar's great weakness. If attackers could take and hold them, Taldir would be cut off from reinforcements and any hope of escape. Alone and outnumbered, the Eldar would be caught in their own trap.
All is prepared.
Excellent. Exarch Recanus, take your warp spiders to their positions and then return to the Aspect Shrine.
We are on our way.
You have doubts, Harlequin?
I trust in your vision, Taldir of Oathway, but to stand surrounded by primitives makes me uneasy.
I understand your distaste, but Eldar rely on speed and stealth. We are not made for entrenched positions. The Orks, however, make for excellent tools. They will keep the supply roads closed and our true enemies weak.
And if these attackers defeat the Orks?
I do not doubt they will overcome our Cat's Paws, but it will cost them. And in their weakened state, they will face the Wailing Doom itself. The Seer Council has named the young king. Exarch Recanus of the Warp Spider Shrine shall sacrifice himself to awaken our most powerful warrior, the Avatar of Cain.
None shall escape my wrath.
Boss! Them puny elder making a base west of here. The Grots say one's wearing that big pointy hat you was talking about.
Pointy hat? That's the Eldar boss. Get the boys together, we're gonna go tough her up.
Nah, there's more than just puny elders here. We was right to split off from Gorguts' lot. We're gonna have us a proper war right here. War!
A fast strike in and out.
We should use the squiggles on them. No, leave them be. The squiggers ain't trained yet. I don't want to get stuck straight in bits of you after their feet.
Return to the main base. Let our enemies fight amongst themselves.
Got them! Got them all! Destroy the weak!
Fast strike in
Who is
and
getting
out.
shot up?
This thing is looking up! I gets to kill me some chaos boys too!
Eldar trickery! So be it. I will kill you first, Ork, and then find that witch.
The Bastion remains strong, Farseer, but the webway gates to your Wraith ship are vulnerable.
Our course is clear then. Protect the gates at all costs. Without them, we may never escape this world. We must drive the attackers back.
Guess what, boss? The men say that them elders have got some of their gates on top of that there hill. If we take them gates, they won't have no way to get away.
Ha! Them sparky bits of theirs is working after all.
Back at 'em, lads! We don't no shoot! We guess it! Gorguts is the strong one after all. We follow the strong. We'll help you take them, Eldar. Who's under attack? We're under attack! Where's the target?
No one's bigger or mightier than us. Why's you giving me orders?
Orks is made for fighting. We get the job done fast. They shoot us!
You lot! You were supposed to flank them Chaos Boys! You're late! Bah! Never mind. Fall in with us. We got more thumping to do.
Let's run for it! You'll do right up.
Jobs are good and
The enemy has taken a webway gate. Drive them down!
They shoot us!
Right
To the
The Wraithbone
Orks!
will never answer your call, outsider. Retreat now!
The boss? Who is getting shot up? It now belongs to the
We cannot
Orks!
allow them to hold the gates for long. Show them no mercy, brothers and sisters.
Let's get looting!
The webway is closed to us now. We are trapped on this world. The avatar of Cain has fallen. Go, all of you. Find what refuge you can in the wilderness of this world.
Escape is still possible, Farseer.
I do not deserve that title, Harlequin. My vision has failed us all. My fate is here, and I shall not flee from it.
Faced with the Ork horde, Farseer Taldir was perhaps too wily for her own good. Gorguts was more than happy to cut through the rebellious Orkish chieftain and self-obsessed heretic she used as dupes. Smashing the gates to the Eldar Wraith ship, Gorguts caught the Farseer in a simple noose and strangled her with it. On Lawn 5, Gorguts had tried and failed to claim Taldir's head, but this time he succeeded. As the fragile bodies of the Eldar lay broken across the frozen soil of Tyria, the warlord and his horde howled at the night sky. Unable to make any real use of Eldar technology, Gorguts' beasts simply destroyed every piece of wraithbone they could find. In the wake of this grand sacking, Gorguts assumed the name Ghost Killer. The Space Marines of the Blood Ravens chapter were well entrenched in their castellum in North Vandia when they finally faced an all-out attack. Utterly unwilling to surrender or retreat any further, the Blood Ravens prepared a mighty defense against the coming assault. Among those defending the keep were Space Marines drawn from the chapter's hallowed First Company. These were the hardened veterans of many crusades, each man ready and able to face down whole squads of enemy attackers. The Blood Ravens on the ground would be further bolstered by fresh troops arriving from the battle barge Litany of Fury in orbit around the planet. Only two factors made the Blood Ravens at all assailable in their stronghold. Most critically, the fortress was unable to receive reinforcements directly from orbit. Captain Thule thus had to establish a forward base to receive drop pods and landing craft. Although well defended, this base could be taken. Secondly, the Space Marines had established their base near ancient ruins, which the Ravens claimed held relics of great importance to the chapter. Unwilling to desecrate the space by fortifying it, Thule opened the door to an enemy claiming the area and thus dealing a powerful blow to the normally unbreakable Space Marine morale. The Battle of North Vandia would be one of the bloodiest of the entire war.
The enemy is at our doorstep and thinks he can push us off this world. He is already gloating. He can taste his victory. But what he fails to see is that we will make this his last meal. The Chief Librarian has ordered the purge of this world to protect our chapter's secrets. Are we to retreat with our duty unfulfilled? Are we to let a black mark stain the banner of the Blood Ravens? I say that we will not. I say our enemies will regret the day they ever decided to face us in battle. Our battle barge orbits overhead and will rain the Emperor's holy fury upon our opponents. More of our brothers will come to join the fight. But as ever, our enemy outnumbers us. Each of you must be an army in your own right. Veterans of the First Company, the finest of the entire chapter, stand with us. Let their valor guide your fire into the enemy's heart. Remember that we are Blood Ravens, brothers. We have all sworn to protect fonts of hidden knowledge. Each one of us must fall before handing this word to the enemy. The Emperor is with us. The unknown Primarch is with us. They have come for our blood, but they will drown in their own. Your green tide stops here, Ork. You will find only death here.
I like that kind of talk, Yumi. I still got room on me stick for your head.
And I have room for you under my boot, alien. Blood Ravens, attack! Blood Ravens, attack!
And more! This is gonna be fun.
The First Company's with us. Strike at the enemy now!
We're gonna make it nice and
We're under attack!
Reinforcements have arrived! To battle, Blood Ravens!
For the Emperor! Is your right piece squeak? We're all gonna
Blood Ravens will not fall to one such as you. Hold the relay station! We must keep in touch with the Litany of Fury! Feel the power of the Emperor's mailed fist! The enemy is feeding coordinates to the battle barge. Prepare for incoming orbital fire!
I'm mad.
Enemies are near the chapel, brothers! Close ranks and attack! You defile all that you touch, Ork.
Even you like this thing so much, Yumi, you should have kept it safe instead of leaving it out here. Now it belongs to the Orks!
For the chapter! Destroy them! The enemy is trying to cut off our reinforcements! Drive them back!
At 'em, lads!
Hold the east gate at all costs! The enemy is at the western gate! Hold fast, brothers!
I'm coming for your ass, Yumi!
Come on, then. You'll see what the best of the chapter has to offer your kind.
You sure do like to hear, don't you, Yumi?
We'll fight to the last man.
Oh, shut your maw and die already!
We're back for another go!
No! We cannot fail.
The gene seed must be preserved. Get Captain Fuel to the Thunderhawk. Understood. Join the Brother Apothecary. We will cover your escape. And you? We cannot allow the enemy to claim our relics. This area must be cleansed with orbital fire. The chapter will honor you, brother. There is no one to be had in defeat. But someone must deliver the targeting beacon. Orbital control. Lock onto this beacon and fire. Full power.
The Blood Ravens chapter had faced more than a few Ork assaults over its history, notably smashing the Great Horde on Tartarus. Perhaps because of this, the Orks under Warlord Gorguts approached the assault on North Vandia with especial glee. Here was their chance to prove themselves stronger than the race's greatest enemies. Victory in North Vandia cost Gorguts a huge number of his boys. But the Warlord was happy to pay the price. Gorguts himself mounted 2 helmeted Space Marine skulls on his gruesome boss pole, and his followers emulated him. Many Knobs and other larger orcs who survived the battle mounted Bloodraven helmets on their weapons or wore them on slings as war trophies. In the years to come, the battered red helms of the Bloodravens would remain the most prized trophy among Gorguts orcs. For himself, the warlord celebrated his victory by taking on the name Gorguts Bloodspiller. With the last enemy beaten, Gorguts' horde reigned supreme on Cronus. The warlord had draped himself in the cruel glory of the orcs, being hailed as the Headhunter, the Rage Screamer, the Bloodspiller, the Death Killer, the Daemon Killer, the Gun Smasher, and the Ghost Killer. The Orcish horde proceeded to pillage the planet to build their next invasion fleet. Gorguts himself set off at the head of that fleet, but Cronus remained an orc-infested world. And the warlord regularly returned there to gather forces for his next conquest. With such a fertile base of operations, the warlord would cut a swath through the Imperium's eastern fringe and the Tau Empire for years to come.